Push the yellow top down hard. Mix and dissolve the cortisol into the water gently. Don't shake it too much. We don't want bubbles. Now remove the little yellow disc from the top. Put a needle on the syringe and suck it down. We've made this needle blunt now, so swap for a sharp one so it hurts less if you can. Push all the air out. Injecting me, even if I don't need it, is safe, but injecting air is bad. Alcohol wipe a big thigh muscle, quick jab, slow squeeze. You saved my life. This is what I wear in my jeans or pants. Usually I have a pen and this kit. This is what I have. And the top of the pack is just a little Tupperware container with more hydrocortisone and some other pills. So half of a 20, that's a 10. I'm not going to take that right now, I can't trust the absorption. What else I have in here is one syringe, a spare syringe in case I lose one somehow in the dark. I've got a large needle for drawing up, a smaller needle, a spare small needle, an alcohol wipe and a few other spares, and some instructions on here with my name and a Star of Life paramedic patch velcroed on. This is just an old film container to give a bit of protection. And here is another hydrocortisone. This is 100 milligrams. Now what I do is I have my own checklist and I look at what symptoms I have. When I have diarrhea, I'm going to be able to absorb the high zone, so I'm going to inject. So I'm following my instructions here for what to do. If oral hydrocortisone is up at a high dose already and is still getting worse, or if you have diarrhea or vomiting, if you can't inject, then call the ambulance straight away and say that it's adrenal crisis. If you can inject, get the hydrocortisone Solu-Cortef, and this is how it will come in the box. And just open up the box. There are instructions that tell you how to inject, but I prefer my own instructions. You can check the use by date, but it's still going to help you even if it's out of date, I'm told. I'm not a doctor or a chemist. This is just the opinion of some guy with Addison's disease. Okay, so we push the yellow top down. I'll try and do it here so you can see it. It takes a fair bit of force, and then the liquid, the water, the powder can mix in. So we don't shake it too hard because we don't want bubbles. We dissolve the cortisol powder into the water, gently sloshing it around. Now it's milky when it starts off being mixed, and we want to keep mixing it until it gets to clear or almost clear. So gently slosh this around. It's getting more clear. Obviously in an emergency you can phone 000 at the same time, or 911 at the same time, or whatever your emergency number is in your country. Get the ambulance out, do two things at once. I'm not in an emergency, I'm just taking it slowly. Okay, so we're almost all dissolved. Next step is to break off this little yellow disc from the top. I can do that with my thumbnail. I'm going to get an alcohol wipe, open up the pack by ripping it, and I'm going to wipe that rubber stopper that I've now exposed so that the alcohol can kill any germs that might have ended up down there at the rubber stopper. Okay, I've got a syringe, 3 ml. I've got 2 needles here. I'm going to start off with a larger needle. I don't want to touch the end of the syringe or the needle at this point. Now, I take the cap off this large drawing up needle and push this down through the rubber stopper. Turn the hydrocortisone, the Solu-Cortef, upside down. I can see inside there, and I'm just going to pull the needle down a bit so it's towards the bottom, and I'm going to start drawing it down. If you get all the way down with the plunger to the bottom of your syringe and you're drawing some air in, you can just push that air back up. Okay, pull the syringe down, the needle down a little bit so it's about at the bottom of that rubber stopper in there, and pull some more in. Okay, and we got lucky, we got most all of it that time. You don't have to get every last little drop. Important thing here is about saving a life, not about getting every single little last drop. If you have 2 needles, then why not use a sharp one for injecting the person. I made the mistake of throwing this cap away. What I do is just have a feel there when I'm putting it in. I'll show you again. When I'm putting it in, so I'm not jabbing myself, I'm just checking, do I have it captured inside that cap? Yes, I do. So I'll set that up out of reach of kids, and now I'm going to keep the syringe this way up so I don't spill the hydrocortisone out. Air up to the top, plunger down to the bottom, push the sharp needle on, and I'll just keep that cap on for a sec. Check my checklist again. It says flick the syringe to get the air bubbles up to the top, and then just gently push the air out. So I'll hold down that needle with my thumb, pull the cap off, and set the cap to the side. We want to keep that cap somewhere so we can find it, so that we can cover up our needle later. So again, checklist. It says flick the syringe, get the air up to the top. Now I'm just going to push. It's nice and clear so you can see what's happening, at least I can, and I've pushed some air out and a tiny bit of the hydrocortisone. I've been told split your thigh up into 3, just go for the middle section, don't go the very top, go to sort of off the side. I don't think it matters a huge amount exactly where, just go for a big muscle. Okay, so I've got the alcohol wipe, and if you see some discolored skin, there's like a pimple or something, just avoid any weird stuff. Now, just go for a quick jab, so just push it in, don't worry about whether it goes all the way down or whether just, you can go subcutaneous. I'm told that it takes about 11 minutes longer, but it still gets you the hydrocortisone in you. It barely even feel it, you're often less sensitive. And I'm just going to squeeze it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. I've got these bands that say give 100 milligrams of hydrocortisone and saline even if hydrated. And what I do, the ambulance here puts me on the side so that they've got the ambulance officer right next to my right arm usually. So what I do is I just put the old needles in here, and then if I forget about them or whatever, the ambulance paramedic will be able to see them and chuck them in their sharps container, and then I just don't have to think about them again. So the next thing I do is call the ambulance and say it's a life-threatening adrenal crisis and get them over here to help. Write down the injection time. So injection time is 13:08 on Monday. Okay, hope that was helpful. Get the pills, hydrocortisone. You get one of these wipes. I'll put this stuff back. Rip open this. We've injected 50 milligrams earlier today because of diarrhea. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Okay, how about we just aim for a spot? How about we just aim for a spot in here? Do you think you can do that? Okay, so we'll avoid the pimple or any sort of weird discoloration or swelling or weird bits. We'll get that in there. Nice and sterile. That's a brand new needle. It's not the one I used before. We're going to see there's a little bit of an air bubble there. Just get that tiny bit of air bubble up. A little bit. Okay.
That's
now.
Now
move
away from the edge of the table.
Okay, now, you know how to do it. So just hold it like this. No, let go of the plunger. Hold it like this. Okay, jab it in.
Oh yeah.
In the middle. Jab it in. Jab it in. Okay, slow down. You're okay. It just made me twitch. Okay, count to 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Have you done it? Mm-hmm. Okay, pull it out. Well done.
Very well done.
And then we'll get this cap.
You're better than some of my medical students.
And now, look, this is what I do. I don't want to jab it in my finger, so I feel that I've captured it. Am I sure I've captured it? Yes. And now I put it in there.
It's bleeding.
Oh, do you think I'm going to run out of blood? There's not very much there.
Tiny.
Good girl.
I got a paper cut.
Okay, well done. Can you show me the paper cut? Show me the paper cut.
There.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Okay, thank you. Let me just explain what I've been doing today. I wasn't going into crisis today. If I was, I'd usually inject 100 milligrams and call the ambulance straight away. What happened was I just had some diarrhea in the morning, and after that seemed to settle, I took some more high-zone hydrocortisone pills, but then had diarrhea again, which meant I couldn't rely on those pills being absorbed properly. And so I knew that at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I had a GP appointment, and 1 o'clock decided I'd just give myself 50 milligrams of the hydrocortisone Solu-Cortef in a crisis. So just 50 milligrams was fine just to keep myself out of hospital from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. At 3 o'clock, I saw the doctor. And as you saw, my daughter, who's just turned 6 and who's injected me a few times now, had another go at that. I'm not a doctor, I'm just a patient with Addison's disease, primary adrenal insufficiency. I wasn't going into crisis, I'm just doing what I do, and I'll put a link down below for my checklist. As you can see here, I've got some other information from online. My wife injected me a couple of weeks ago with Solu-Cortef. She pointed out that the paperwork that I was giving her was out of order. So I had symptoms on one page, and then I had the instructions on where to get what and what to do and how to do it and so on another page. And after my wife told me it was out of order, I thought, I'm just going to redo my checklist so it's simpler and clearer for me and for others. For me, especially since when you're getting low on glucose, you're low on cortisol, and your brain's not really functioning 100%, you really don't want more challenges or more problems. What works for me is not going to necessarily work for you. I just wanted to share the way that I do it in case it did help anyone else. I hope it helps.